So, hey guys, today we're going to be talking about some rulings that I completely don't really understand. But anyway, if we have, for example, time thief reader here, and dimensional fissure, and anti-human intelligence messiah, right? And we attach, let's say, uh, well, we have attached, it doesn't really matter. Let's say, what's a funny level 4 monster? I don't know. Like, any around here? Perform a pal, a bow whopper, sure. If we were to detach this clearly normal monster, and we have both anti-human intelligence Messiah and dimensional fissure on the field, what would happen? It gets sent to the graveyard because apparently an XYZ material is not considered a monster nor a spell or a trap. It's considered as like a card or something. It's XYZ material, which is a different thing altogether. So, okay. And then if we were to, like, for example, pop Messiah, Messiah is a spell trap. Well, it's scaled, right? Yeah, so we pop Messiah. Wait a second. Any card sent to the graveyard is banished instead, except for monster cards. Well, if this had banished spell traps, this would be different, but it doesn't specifically list spell traps. So, this actually does banish XYZ material. Wow, Yu-Gi-Oh! Is dumb, isn't it? Now, or wasn't there a card that said banish spell traps that would get sent to the graveyard, or is it only monsters? Well, whatever the case, this is essentially the rulings on like XYZ material. And if we were to pop this uh, as a scale, this is considered a spell trap, so it doesn't get banished. But like also the same question is, do pendulum cards really go to the graveyard? Like you can make the argument that they don't. Like I mean, physically, like who is going to move like a pendulum card to the graveyard and then do the extra deck face up instead of two the extra deck face up, you know? And also, like it just doesn't really make sense for them to go to the graveyard, in my opinion, to begin with. But I mean, it's the ruling, so what you gonna do about it? Technically, pendulum cards go to the graveyard at some point. I don't know what point this is, but all right, I guess. So they get banished, whether they're on field or like if they're like pendulum scales, they'll get banished once they leave the field by whatever means. In fact, I don't think you can return pendulum cards. Like, if you were to try to return them to hand by effect, Dimensional Fissure probably is still going to, like, just erase them. In fact, I haven't even seen this happen. Do they just get returned to the hand normally? Or do they go to the extra deck face up? Because, if you were try to return them or send them for cost, they just don't go to the graveyard. So even more confusion. I'm just going to have to assume they get returned to the hand like normal and nothing happens. That or they actually get banished for some godforsaken reason, but yeah, those are some rulings right there. And then let's see, what other fun rulings do we have here? Ah, yes. I mean, might as well throw this one in. Nibiru. If Nibiru is activatable, but token collectors on field, it is now no longer activatable because it is required to summon a token, which technically can't happen because of token collector. But if you were to technically activate the effect, it would tribute token collector first anyways. So token collector would not be on the field to stop Nibiru from special summoning the token. But because of how the ruling works, you can't special summon Nibiru in the first place. So token collector, woo, funny card. And I mean, while we're here, might as well throw in a few more. Let's do this one. So we have therion regulus. This negates effect. So it doesn't specifically say anything, but if a card negates effect and not activation, it can't be activated in the damage step in response to something. So Therion King Regulus is not actually respondable to anything. And also, for some reason, Therion King Regulus sends for cost for this effect, specifically send to the graveyard. And if you cannot send to the graveyard, then that means Therion King Regulus cannot activate, and also Therion King Regulus does not negate activations, meaning it doesn't work against continuous spells, traps, or anything like that. So, that means this card completely just beats um, Therian King Regulus, and also Skill Drain, of course. So if I were to activate this, you cannot negate this with Regulus, and also, yeah, now your Regulus can't activate, so that's fun. And while we're here, let's throw in another one. Infinite Impermanence. What do you think happens if Therian King Regulus has like Foom equipped with its own effect, and then you infinite impermanence Therian King Regulus? Therian King Regulus gets negated, and then Foom would get unequipped, or whatever Therion card you equipped with Therian King Regulus. Don't even understand how these equip spell rulings work, but like, if you did that to Charles, for example, I'm not sure if that works the same because equip spells and not monsters, so maybe there's like a difference in ruling there. I'm going to need clarification or testing on that one. Not actually sure. So Charles has this effect. So um, let's see. During the end phase, you can equip one equip spell from your hand or graveyard to this card. So if we negate Charles, does that card get unequipped or no? Like it will off of Regulus. I just don't even know. I mean, I feel like with equip spells versus like equip spell monsters, it might work a little bit differently. But I'm not even sure if it like works differently with, for example, the trap. So this trap says target one Therian monster in your graveyard, special summon, then you can equip one Therian monster from your hand or graveyard to it. During the main phase, you yada yada, and then equip that monster from your graveyard to the other monster you control. So both effects technically equip Therian monster as more or less an equip spell, right? So my question for this card at this point is, what are these guys considered? First off, are they still considered monsters? So does Fissure even work against these guys? If like the equip cards, like if we negate Therian King Regulus, does Boline get banished or just sent to the graveyard if Fissure is on the field? Literally no clue. And then if we use Therion Stand Up to equip instead of Regulus. If we negate Regulus, do the cards still get unequipped? Well, I straight up have no idea, so, yeah. No idea at all. And those were just some rulings, I guess. And what was the Therion effect for this again? Special summon a Therion monster from your graveyard, and to do this, you would banish a Spriggan, Therion, or Sprite card from your hand or graveyard. That effect's awful. Well, anyways, yeah, that's all I got for you guys today. And I hope you guys learned something new. So yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.